welcome back to City Planner Plays, where we are taking part in the Red Bull Metropolis challenge. Well, kind of. So I recorded the introduction videos for the challenge, but I also took part in each of the challenges on my own. How can you talk about the challenges if you don't take part in them? So I am going to be releasing a series of videos where I show my playthroughs of the challenges. Now, be aware that my playthroughs will look a little bit different than my recordings. I needed to take a couple of liberties in the recordings to demonstrate some things, but you will see my 30-minute playthrough. There will be a timer in the top right-hand side of the screen, so stick around and see how I would have approached this challenge. Round 1 is positive population. The mayors have been given a completely blank slate and very deep pockets. They'll need to use these deep pockets to create a city with the highest population possible in a half an hour. The rules of this round are simple. All buildings and construction options will be unlocked. The mayors will be given unlimited money and tiles. And like I mentioned, they'll have 30 minutes, after which their games will be paused. The mayor with the highest population at the end of the time limit will be the winner. The highest ranking player will win 4 points, and the lowest ranking player will win a lowly 1 point. Okay, so the very first thing we have is this starting tile here. I don't like this in this particular location, so we're going to start by getting a bunch of new tiles. The main reason I don't like this is it's not really all that straight, and I think that having a straight workspace will help me develop this a little bit easier. So I'm purchasing a few tiles here. We're going to zoom in, and then we're going to eliminate a whole bunch of what we have going on here. So let's go into move it, and what I want to do is just eliminate most of this freeway stuff, because I think a lot of it is going to actually be harmful to what we're trying to do. So I'm going to do that for now, and then I want to establish the main road in the city. And the main reason for this is I'm going to build my grid based on this road. Now I want to connect up these roads, and I'm going to build a road that I can connect up on. I'll turn anarchy on because I can fix this later. Oh, actually, that's not going to work. What we're going to do is let's go through and connect up our new highway segments. Now, the main reason I'm doing this is I want my access to be as clean as it can be. And I know that we've already used up 2 minutes, but this is 2 minutes well spent. Okay, so from here, we're going to make some connections to our new road. We're going to make this very predictable. We're going to do the exact same thing down here. Okay, so over here, I want to add some local roads for our utilities and services. So first we need power, then we need water, and I'm going to overdo it because I would much rather have all of this stuff working up front and then not need to worry about it again. Power is all connected there, so we should be good. Now we can start building our city. So what I'm going to do here is try to create something that's very easy to reproduce over and over. So I'm going to go 30 tiles. That is a long block, but it's not going to matter as long as we use lots of local roads. Now that I think about it, we're going to use our bike lane roads because we'll be able to get people out of their cars. Let's get some utilities down here as well. And here I'm limiting the number of connections I'm making on my main road, just so that we don't end up with traffic problems. Now we're going to zone a whole bunch, and then we'll take care of things as they come. So now I need to think about other city services that we're going to need. I do have anarchy on, so we're going to get that off. And the nice thing about an easy grid is that it's easy to replicate what you're doing. We're going to have some parks. We're going to use the same park every couple of blocks. I'm going to throw a beautiful power line down the shore just for the time being. And then I want to start thinking about other modes of transportation. And since we have all of these buildings unlocked, we should absolutely use them. So I'm going to go right away for the Eden project, which will really boost up my land values to the max. And then I also want to use the space elevator, and I'm going to locate that fairly centrally within the city. The idea being that we are going to get a ton of people into the city this way. And I also want to look at my other modes of transportation. We're going to need to make sure that we have goods coming in and people. So we will add a harbor here, a passenger port rather, and then a cargo harbor over here. Okay, so we're good there. We've got people moving in and we've got about a third of our time gone. We need to really kick things into high gear and just respond to problems as they come. Here's one of the problems we have. We don't have any sort of healthcare or death care. So let's take care of that. And then we should really start to think about some of our unique buildings, because those are going to be a quick way to really make sure that we have maximum land values. I do think we should have, very high land values, but we are going to really take it up to the next level. I'm going to extend the grid out a little bit further. Now we need to take a look at our schools. We're going to have issues there, most likely. We don't have a university, which is a problem because we're really relying on offices to fulfill our industrial needs. So we've got that. Our high school capacity is fine. Elementary is teetering, so let's add some more elementary schools. And let's think about other modes of transportation. So now what I've done is made sure that this is connected up to every single line coming into this area. And things are moving along pretty well. We just need to make sure that we are meeting all of the needs of our citizens, because that's going to keep people moving in here. And I want to start thinking about some other modes of transportation. So again, we're going to use our grid to our advantage. In fact, we're going to relocate that station because that one is not most beneficial for us. This is not going to be the most beautiful, but it is going to be functional. And then I immediately want to take a look at that line and crank up our budget just to make sure that we don't run into issues down the line. And now I want to take a look at our policies and see if there's anything that we can do to improve the city. So I'm lowering taxes, improving everything, encouraging bikes, just anything I can do to make the city a better place to live. Also going to make sure our roads are top notch. And I might even look into here and throw in a park maintenance facility just to make sure that all the parks in our city are maintained and at their peak condition. And you see things are filling in, but we're starting to get some needs again. Let's go through here and we'll extend this out a bit further. I don't want garbage to become a problem, so I'm going to throw another transfer facility up here. And because I'm throwing that down there, I want to have office back here. We're going to have a bit of commercial, and then a whole bunch of residential again. We had our connection. Our population's about 7,000, and we're about halfway through. So I'm going to go back to our unique buildings, and we'll just keep adding them. So generally, I would discourage you from lumping these so closely together, but it is okay with what we are doing right now because ultimately, I don't think traffic's going to be that bad with local roads everywhere. I think we should think about our districts too. Let's look at where we have some of these things zoned. Why don't we add in a tourism district? It'll be kind of a weird spot right next to this harbor, but it'll work. And I think it would also be helpful to have an IT cluster. So I think that we're going to add one of those up here. And the city continues to grow, almost at 10,000 population. And again, we need to look at some of our services just to make sure that that's not what's holding us back. And right now it is. Also take a look at our parks. I don't think we should have any problems there. We'll just double check. Okay, so things are booming. So we're in an interesting spot right now. The cargo harbor is working. We're having some trash issues, and that might be something that we need to take a look at now. Oh, actually, it's not a trash issue. Our cargo harbor is not connected, or our passenger harbor is not connected. Just extending our tourism district all the way across here. We are having some issues with these buildings here, and I'm thinking that this might help. A little bit of redevelopment right there. Now our residential demand is coming back. That's good. But so is our office demand. We do have space available for that. We can also add some more right here. Kind of curious how our traffic's looking. We're in okay shape there. We'll look back, getting lots of activity from the space elevator, and we haven't really looked at our subway. That's working all right. I think one thing that we could do to improve would be to take a look at this road and prioritize it. And let's just double check. We have yield signs all the way down the road, so that'll improve our traffic flow and hopefully get people in here quicker. And over here, let's do the exact same thing. One thing I know we didn't do is have bike lanes at all of these roads here, so let's do that to improve our transportation network. Okay, you're rocking and rolling over here, but now we've got some trash collection issues on this side of town. Let's just take care of that simply. And these should probably all be on a local road, not directly on this collector, but it's not going anywhere, so it's probably not the end of the world. Either way, just did slightly relocate these to ensure that we're getting as good of throughput here as we can. You can see that that improved things right away. And a lot of those garbage signs that we had are gone now, so our population's starting to creep up again. Let's take a look at our education. We are on the edge with our elementary school availability, so let's add in a few of those. And I inadvertently used regular roads here, but we're gonna just deal with it because we just need to keep this thing moving. I'm gonna convert this to offices over here so we're not loading too much on the side of this road, and I am gonna zone along the road for its entirety. We have no reason not to. Water coverage is good there now, and the city is still growing. Let's really try to crank this up. We'll continue to add our unique buildings. Okay, so I think we've got almost every unique building used up at this point, which is only going to help our land values and continue to see the growth of the community. So this is not pretty, but it does work. We've only got about 30 seconds left, so we're going to keep plugging away at this. And that's time. So we've got about 19,263 residents. Things are okay here. Clearly not the best configuration, but the land uses make some sense. And we've got a good population. Let's take a look at our stats. Traffic flow is good. Transit utilization is okay. Things are moving. So that is what I would do to get this challenge as far along as I could. Focus on land uses, focus on getting people into the community, and ensure that our traffic doesn't back up because we have some logical connections and redundancies.